Well, howdy do, folks. DW Pastor Barry here. It is afternoon. I'll tell you what, it is hot, 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 hot. The air conditioning, our central air in this room no longer works. I've pretty much declared it's given up the ghost. So I'm definitely going to have to buy me a window unit. I'm sitting in the fan, not right now, but when I'm in bed, I'm just going to sit in the fan, sitting over there at my desk. It's just too hot. They have central going through the rest of the house, and to get any cold air into here at all, I got to open up the door. And of course, that gives way to animals coming in and little kids. In other words, goodbye privacy. But sometimes it must sacrifice to feel cooler. Anyway, this shirt's kind of making me warm too. This is another gift T-shirt that I got the other day. Very grateful for it. So I thought I'd wear it for a video. This is January the 24th. In the Mornings with Jesus. Devotional. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm looking forward to getting a haircut this week. Maybe tomorrow. I'd like to trim the old thick forest down. I got whites. I'm not ashamed of it, but that's how I know when I have too much hair. It's time to get a haircut when it really shows that much. My hair grows so fast. Whew. I'm going to take a shower soon, I think, too. Time to wash the jungle. All right. Colossians 3:23 and 24 in the New Living Translation. Turn there, Colossians chapter 3. We're going to read more verses than what they have here, just for some context. And once again, I want to use this, since I got it out, I'll use this North American Standard Bible, the NASB. But here in the NLT, it says, "Work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Remember that the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward, and that the master you are serving is Christ." All right, family relations is the heading here. Let's start at verse number 18 in Colossians chapter 3 and read to the end of the chapter. Not much reading, be very simple. So let's do it. All right. "Wives, be subject to your husbands as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives, and do not be embittered against them. Children, be obedient to your parents in all things, for this is well-pleasing to the Lord. Fathers, do not exasperate your children, so that they will not lose heart." Now it says slaves. You have to understand the context of this. One thing you could say for today is employees. Technically, we're not supposed to have slaves today. But as we know, there's the terrible sex trafficking industry. It's wicked, satanic, evil. And those would be considered sexual slaves, which is not good at all. And so, anyway, I sigh when I read this, because when I go on TikTok Live, I got all these atheists coming on saying, "Hey, read this verse." And it's always talking about slavery and what to do with your slaves and all this stuff, Old Testament stuff. But you have to understand that there are people who are indebted to families and households, and so they become what we know as slaves. Or it's not talking about forced labor where you're getting whipped to do work. It's you're taken care of, but you owe loyalty and your service to a household or whatever it might be. So you got to understand context. So just to read that and see slaves and think, well, that just means that Christians are owning slaves and that's okay. No, that's not okay, and that's not what it means. You got to understand the context. Anyway, let's go on. "Slaves, in all things, obey those who are your masters on earth, not with external service as those who merely please men, but with sincerity of heart, fearing the Lord." You're working for God. You're not working for your employer. That's what it's really saying. "Whatever you do, do your work heartily, as for the Lord, rather than for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the reward of the inheritance. It is the Lord Christ whom you serve." See, there it is right there. "For he who does wrong will receive the consequences of the wrong which he has done, and that without partiality." All right. With the new door handle I got last year, every time the door opens, someone opens up a door, it rattles my door and makes a lot of noise. So I never know if somebody's trying to get in my room or if somebody's leaving the home or coming in. It's a noisy doorknob. All right. Trisha, looks like Trisha Goyer. They use a lot of the same authors to write in this. This is January the 24th. It says, "When I was in elementary school, star charts and contests motivated Me. One summer, I read more books than any other kid in our town, and my picture made it in the newspaper. In Girl Scouts, I got a certificate and a stuffed animal for all the boxes of cookies I sold. During vacation Bible school, I won a board game for learning the books of the Bible. I won a Bible, not really win. I was awarded with one. Wasn't really to win it. Any kid in our church who could memorize all the books of the Bible in front of the church, you'd get your own Bible. I think my parents still have that child's Bible back home. But anyway, it has been hard not to focus on rewards in my ministry. My attitude can change like the tide if I get a good review or a bad one. Sometimes I'm bummed if I've poured work into a project and others don't notice as I think they should. I don't get a certificate or another trinket as I serve Jesus. An eternal inheritance is my reward. And Jesus, of course, doesn't put a star on a chart for the things we do right. Instead, he is the one who will shine bright in our lives now and for eternity. I need to remember that. I need to remember that he is the one I work for, and pleasing him is enough. I could give quick instruction and relieve a lot of stress and problems if young people today learn to please God. Learn what your ministry is for God. Don't live to please your parents. Yes, we want to make our parents happy, make them proud, but our parents need to be proud if we're serving God in our ministry. So many young people, I have a heart for them. They think that they need to live for their parents, do what their parents want them to do. Hey, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. And kids sometimes, depending on the family or the parents, the kids feel like they don't have a free will to do what they want. Oh, you're going to grow up and do this. I can't stand hearing stories about parents who tell their kids what they're going to do when they grow up, like what they're going to be, like twisting their arm. No, you're going to go to college, you're going to do this. What happened to free will? What happened to choice? So it can save you a lot of time, effort, and heartache if you just seek the Lord and do what God wants you to do. A good Christian parent would be on board with that. They might have their ambitions for you as you being their child, but in the end, if they're a good Christian parent, they're going to want God's will in your life and not theirs. All right. Here's the faith step. When is the last time you worked hard and didn't get the reward you deserved? Think about that time and consider Jesus looking down on you with approval. I have to do that all the time. Well done, good and faithful servant. Write a prayer committing to him your work and your desire to serve others for his approval. All right, that was a good one. I hope that speaks to somebody today. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. God bless you. I'll be seeing you in the next Mornings with Jesus devotional. Check your 3-piece. Have a good one.